Infinite ammo.
The chopper! Oh.
Alright. Hello everyone and welcome to the episodic discussion. This time on the Sega Dreamcast. What's up?
Yo!
Did you give Grotus a document?
No, we didn't.
Here, Grotus, Here,
We didn't give
Grotus.
him the.
I just linked it to you,
Not 10
Grotus.
seconds.
We're off to a perfect
Ready?
start
No,
already.
no, I'm using that as an intro. Fuck it, let's begin.
Maximum
We're totally professional, guys. We're totally professional.
Yes.
Professional is short for fuck it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yes. Alright. I'm gonna love people to introduce themselves. Alright. So Atomica, what's up?
Hi, my name is DJ, also known as DJ Plays. I run a YouTube channel called DJ Plays. I live in Singapore, and as such, I am one of the probably only Singaporean YouTubers on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that statement is false, but don't quote me on that. I've been YouTubing for about 4 years now, and I've got a small community of like 400 or so dead accounts that I'm pretty proud of. And that's about it.
Alright, perfect. Grotus.
Yo, I'm Alpagrodus, the Overlord Frog, as we all know. I haven't
Yes.
been in these podcasts for quite a while because I have a busy life.
Yes.
On YouTube with my two different channels, Frogface and Alpagrodus. And I'm from Sweden. That's pretty much half
Heyo.
the podcast.
Inferno, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm Inferno Dragon 343. I do things on the tubers and the twitches. I think tubers is going down the drain. Kind of is. And there's so much migration. Could those people just get the part-time gerbs already? Seriously, Patreon is already stacked enough. Go away. And I'm one of the only Americans here, so it's like I'm invading. It's kind of like...
Alright, slightly off topic here. Is this how you introduce yourself?
No, this is how I introduce myself when I freaking wake up earlier than I used to.
Alright, perfect.
I need a
He's
drink.
also a NA regular, so yeah, that's fine.
I need a drink. That's what I need.
Alright, go get your drink. Italian, what's up?
I am the Italian stallion. Don't take the name in vain. I am American. I'm the other American here.
With the Italian accent.
Hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo!
We lacked
no.
EU
Any
people, so we
whore.
got a fake Italian.
Any whore. I have a channel on YouTube, Italian Stallion 330. I do a lot of more comedic kind of takes on NetherRealm games. Like I pick a character and then like let's say I don't know Liu Kang, and then whenever I hit a brutality, I play like a stupid song in the background because it's funny. Haha, jokes.
Alright, sweet. Redogs, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've been away for quite some time as well because I just became a dad. And
Oh my god, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh
Oh my
Congratulations.
goodness!
oh god.
He's
Yeah.
he's badass Redogs.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I'm at YouTube and Twitch as Vlogs Game.
Yes. Jojo, what's up?
Hello, everybody. I am the Lost Jojo. I'm on Twitter on the Lost Jojo as well. I'm a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan / shit poster.
Oh my God.
And I'm currently on YouTube, Mr. Bastard Gamer. I'm currently celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Phantasy Star series by playing through all the 2D RPGs all the way up to Phantasy Star 4 and Phantasy Star Online. I also do commentaries on weird, stupid people I see on the internet whenever I'm bored.
But it was IDEO.
So like all of them.
Dioda. I also play shit tons of Borderlands and Team Fortress 2. In fact, if you play with me in TF2, I may or may not trick you into doing or saying stupid stuff over the mic for my amusement.
You may?
Alright. I mean, you don't need to trick me for that. I do that anyways. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Want to play TF2 later, Psycho?
That's beside the point, though. All right. And also, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Martin at Psycho Render, whatever the fuck. You guys know
Hi,
me.
whatever the
Do you
fuck.
really
I'm
need an
Dad.
Oh,
introduction, Mario?
hello!
You guys know me by now. Hashtag professionalism. All right.
You're the guy everyone wants to die.
Don't worry, we occasionally talk about video games.
Sometime.
Don't steal that. Come on. Oh my god.
They didn't trademark it.
God damn it. All right. So let's begin here with number one. All right. Let's begin with a little trip to the past as usual. What your first reaction was when discovering information about the Sega Dreamcast? What drew you in about the system? Making a podcast about it.
Making
To be fair, I even forgot it existed until you asked me about it.
This is gonna be a short podcast today.
Yeah, that's actually the same for me. As when we
Unfortunately.
started this podcast, the first time I ever saw the Dreamcast when I typed it in Google, like 40 minutes ago.
Wow.
Does no one remember this thing?
I do.
I do.
I fondly remember it, man. It's one of my
I
favorite.
remember I remember receiving the Dreamcast as a kid and going, Sega made a console?
Another one besides the Genesis?
Or Mega Drive, because this is EU, so Mega Drive.
Oh, right. See, I'm American. I don't know European.
Us and our American names.
Anyways. Anyone have a story here? How did you discover the system?
Who's going first?
I had it as a kid. That's
How
about
did you
it.
get it as a kid?
I don't remember much from those days, but I remember having it in the house and me playing it a lot.
All right.
It wasn't Sonic Adventure or freaking Ready to Rumble boxing. It was something on the demo disc or something like that. That's the last thing I remember was
That was a good game, by the way.
I think that demo disc also had some zombie rail shooter on it. Was that House of the Dead?
House of the
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, I only got it through the Dreamcast demo disc. And yes, it had demo discs. Not as good as PlayStation's demo disc, but it had demo discs.
How I found it was my friend had one, like when I was growing. I was like years ago, and like I think we played some kind of football game, one of the football games on it, and also I think it was Virtual Cop.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Virtual Cop.
All right. Awesome.
I take it we're going down the list for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, me and Martin are already done. So Jojo, go ahead and tell your story.
I first saw the Dreamcast when I went to because I had this friend of mine from when I was in high school, who had a lot of systems and stuff. Like he had an N64, a Super Nintendo, and he ended up getting a Dreamcast. And I was curious what it was like. I played Sonic Adventure on it, and now we hearing the Sonic characters talking, even though now it's kind of, now that we look at it now, the voice acting was kind of crap. But seeing all this, like the way they were making shapes with the Chaos Creature, I thought like the graphics were something that I had never seen before. And I ended up getting a Dreamcast for Christmas in, I think 2001, I think, and I ended up playing a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Shenmue 1. They were just like, I never touched my PlayStation ever again after. I mean, I never touched it very much after I got that Dreamcast, and it was just so much fun, learning up and down. Even after the system had failed in America, I ended up looking up all kinds of stuff about the import games, like all the cool games that we didn't get in America, like Shenmue 2. We didn't get that until it was on the Xbox, but in Europe that was on the Dreamcast, and we got all kinds of cool stuff for it. Like they had a PC perfect port, at least gameplay wise, of Quake 3, and you can even plug a keyboard and mouse into the Dreamcast and play it, like you should. And all the homebrew stuff, like I saw how you can play Doom, the original Doom on it, emulators, all kinds of stuff. It was such a great system. So many good games for someone like me who likes those arcade, arcadey feel games. So fun.
Oh, and Dynamite Cop is another one.
Dynamite Cop was
that
fun.
I remember.
I heard of that game. Pretty good.
For me, the Dreamcast was all about, because it was my very first console. I never had a console before the Dreamcast. And when I first got it, the games I got were Jet Set Radio Future. I think it was just Jet Set Radio. I can't remember. And then there was the whole slew of Army Men games for it. And I also fondly remember playing, the usual Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi. And the Dreamcast lasted me for a good 2 years-ish until I got a PS1, and then I stopped playing the Dreamcast. But it was for a while, though, it was fun. Although, looking back on it, I really wish the controller were a bit smaller.
Yeah, that controller looks really uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable as fuck.
See, Jojo, you're just a lying piece of shit, aren't you?
No, I
I'm just kidding.
maybe one of us just has, odd hands, I guess, because the Dreamcast controller for me was comfortable.
I think it's a controller that's better for people with big hands.
Right.
I was like 8, a kid, an Asian kid with tiny ass hands. You can imagine how that goes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't the original Xbox controller. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was
the
original
one.
Yeah, that one
the
was
one I had.
I think I had one of those, or 2 of those.
Anyway, so we done with that topic then?
yeah.
That's some
I have
Jojo's.
I have nothing else to
passion
chime
for
in.
the Dreamcast, while everyone
Yeah,
else is just...
like it was, like
Yeah,
like
not much
I
to
said
talk
when I first saw it, I think this racing game on. I think it had the first Project Gotham racing on it. That was probably, in my opinion, the best looking game on there because of how realistic the cars looked and crap.
I'm trying to remember other Dreamcast games that I had, but I can't pull them out the top of my head.
We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah.
Let's move on to number 2 here. What do you think of the graphics at the time of the Sega Dreamcast compared to competition like the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox?
Yeah.
You want to go first, or?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, I'd say like graphical comparison, like the PS2 and the GameCube and Xbox, yeah, they were way better than the Dreamcast, obviously. But the Dreamcast had its own little charm to it, if that makes any kind of sense. Like play like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on a Dreamcast, and then maybe go play, the Xbox or PS2 version, and you'll kind of see what I mean about because of how the Dreamcast is basically almost like a clone of the Naomi arcade board or something like that. So it handled a lot of arcade games better than like PS2 or Xbox. Like I said, the PS2, like if you want to see the best comparison, look at like one of the best looking games on the PS2, like Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3 or something. Then compare that to the Dreamcast, and you'll see what I mean.
I played some Dreamcast games, and I'll freely admit that some of them looks really good. But
Nope, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
No, admittedly, when I first got my Dreamcast, I was totally enamored with it. But after I got other consoles from like Sony, PS1, PS2, graphics were potato. As soon as I got my PlayStation 2 and the games started getting older and older, I started realizing, maybe it's time for the Dreamcast to go.
Yeah.
Although it is a good system, just that it didn't age well.
That's true.
Yeah, it didn't age well, and
Especially
it was
the
marketed a bit
games.
poorly. And when the
For some of
PS2
them.
came out, it kind of just blocked it entirely because, I mean,
It's
the console's limitations in comparison to something like the PS2 was just like, it. I mean, graphically and like in terms of other things, it was just better to own a
PS2
PS2.
annihilated everything.
Yeah, it annihilated like
Right.
everything.
It's like I said, the Dreamcast had its charms. Like, in fact, if I ever get Shenmue 3, I'm gonna make a mod to where it makes the console, the graphics look all like their Dreamcast counterparts of Shenmue 1 and 2. I'm gonna try and do that if I
So
get it.
basically, like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary did.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a good example.
Yeah, push a button and look. Oh, it's all old.
It looked good it looked good on some games, but on other games, not so much. Sonic Adventure. It's funny how a first-party title kind of looks so. What's the proper term here? Dated. Like very dated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I know what they tried to do and all, but I mean, back then it may have been all cool, but when you look back on it now in 2017, it's just like,
yeah, it looks so dated.
Those animations, though.
Freaking Sonic's chubby cheeks freaking flapping all over in the cutscene, just like, whoa!
I have
Oh, no.
played. I have played both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, by the way, and
Yeah, same here.
Jesus Christ.
I played them both multiple times for different reasons. Trust me, I can never escape those games.
I mean, we'll talk more about it later, probably, but I'll just tease it with this. Big the Cat still gives me fucking nightmares.
Oh.
Oogie.
Let's go fishing.
I just wanted to point out that I forgot who said it, but they mentioned Sonic's flapping cheeks. That was I just want to say that was in the podcast, and it made me chuckle.
Unlike Sonic, you don't chuckle.
Yep. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'm hard as nails.
I mean,
breaking
there
down
were
with
some
a
good-looking
solid
games on the system, though. I mean,
Soul
Shenmue
Calibur.
Shenmue looks
Soul-
pretty good. I mean,
Soul Calibur, Shenmue, Skies of Arcadia.
I think Shenmue 3 on my Dreamcast, but I never understood it because it's Japanese.
Shenmue 3 is not even a thing yet. You
Yeah.
either had Shenmue 1 or 2.
You finished
way-
your alternate universe. You finished your alternate universe portal, didn't you?
I think I did, maybe.
Can I borrow it? I want to unleash some Kako demons.
I want to go to the universe where Panzer Dragoon Saga got a remake.
Let's not go into that, though.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
that
but
one
I
game?
had a Shenmue game. I can't remember which one it was.
What was that one game, like Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, whatever? That looked pretty good, actually. Like, on the
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
It
I never
looked-
played
The
it. but it
game
was
itself
awesome.
was just okay, but it looked pretty good on the system. It did. Is that everything?
Sounds like
I
it.
think so.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, sounds like it to me.
No other opinions.
All right.
All right.
Here comes the good one. What was your most favorite and least favorite Dreamcast game published on the system?
Most favorite Sonic Adventure 1, least favorite Sonic Adventure 2. Those are the only two Dreamcast games I've actually played.
Grodus, I believe the Sonic fan base is now knocking down at your door.
Uh-oh.
To be
Hey,
fair,
give me-
I hate Sonic Adventures 2. It's terrible.
Get your pit torches and pitchforks
I-
out of here.
In all honesty, I kind of have to agree with Grodus. 2 was pretty bad.
It's dated.
It's
like,
dated.
heavily.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Are we talking about Sonic Adventure 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh no, we just opened the
Here we
floodgates.
go.
Hold
That
on,
game-
before you go. My favorite, Sonic Adventure 1. I freaking love that game. Least favorite, I didn't have too many goddamn games, so I'm just gonna have to say, Burp or Derp. There. Done.
Good job.
My most favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, it's all you speaking.
Hate Sonic Adventure 2. I hate it. It is a piece of crap. Like, the two best things about it were the Chow Garden and the Sonic and Shadow stages. That was it. Everything else is a piece of shit. The story sucks. The bosses are garbage. I hate it. I hate it.
Man, dude.
Oh,
Freaking
man.
hatred. Wow.
I gotta say, I love your
Most
positivity.
Sonic game ever made. No, you knock that off immediately.
Like, my opinion, the best game, I'd have to say either Techromancer or Capcom versus SNK 2. My least favorite, oh gosh, this is. I would have to say the Berserk game simply because that game's hallways are too narrow and you have that big sword to swing around. So your main attack is ultimately useless in like in like 2/3 of the game.
I think
That sounds
my
awful.
favorite game would have to be Jet Set Radio, and then
that's
my
a good
least
one.
favorite was Shenmue. Because I
You
had
think-
absolutely no idea what I was doing. Just like boot up Shenmue. What do? I'm just gonna play this gachapon machine for 3 hours.
I mean- I'll say this though, regarding Jet Set Radio, that's not exclusive anymore. So
I
don't
know it's not exclusive anymore, but back then it was only on the Dreamcast.
All right, I guess it counts then.
Yeah. In Shenmue, all you really got to do is just look at the notebook and read that, and it'll tell you exactly where to
funny
go.
story. My game was in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
I
all
see.
right.
Okay. Oh yeah. Now, yeah, I guess you're in Singapore. Yeah.
Now
I
it
get you.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
think
already know
my-
my least favorite.
I
game.
think my favorites might have to be a tie between Shenmue 1 and what the fuck is the yeah, Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. That was okay. That was pretty good.
I
you know.
think my favorite game on the Dreamcast. I didn't play many of them, but it was probably one of the House of the Dead games. I think it was 2.
House of the Dead was fun if you actually had the gun to play with it, which I did.
I don't think I did.
Oh my god, you had the light gun.
Yep, I had I played that in Virtua Cop 2 with it. It was so fun.
You lucky fucker.
And we all know what my least favorite Dreamcast game is.
Mm-hmm.
Same
Yeah,
here.
that's right. Street Fighter 3. No, I'm just kidding. It's Sonic Adventure.
Like Sonic Adventure 2, someone, I forgot who said this, so someone reviewed it. Pro Jared.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure is like a bowl of Lucky Charms. You have to go through all the bits you don't like to get to like the Sonic stages in the Chow Garden, which are the equivalent of the marshmallows in the bowl.
I mean, it's that or I just play a game that's it's like overall is good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Oh, wait, now I remember a game that was pretty dumb for the Dreamcast. Anyone remember Sega Bass Fishing?
I never
Yes.
played it. I never played it because it's a fishing game, you know.
Exactly.
I remember it being in the stores, and I never picked it up because it's a fishing game. Why would you play a fishing game?
I
if you can actually
only
go
have
fishing?
it because of the Dreamcast collection on Xbox. I'm just like, no. No.
It did have a
Dreamcast
fishing-
as a fishing rod accessory.
Yeah, it had a little fishing rod controller with a little thing you wind up and stuff. I heard
You know
that
that's
was,
why
like,
Big the Cat was in Sonic Adventure to begin with. Because of that freaking fishing controller.
You know, I would much rather fucking play Big the Cat missions than do those stupid emerald hunting nonsense from Sonic Adventure 2. I'm sorry, I would.
I got a feeling that we're gonna have a lot of Sonic Adventure 2 hate here.
Yeah.
Best
I wonder if
game ever made. No.
I wonder if someone from Sega will actually come across this podcast and be like, "Damn, this guy hates us."
I don't hate
Freaking
Sonic.
Aaron
I
Weber
mean,
comes across it.
I like freaking Sonic. I like most Sonic games. Like, you know, Sonic Colors was fine. The old Sonic games. It's just Sonic Adventure 2 I never liked. Ever.
At least it wasn't Shadow the Hedgehog or Sonic 06.
No.
Yep.
No.
Oh, there's someone just hopped in. Hey, Drillbit, it's about time you got here.
hello, Drillbit. You're
Hello,
muted.
Drill.
His
What?
microphone is muted.
Yes.
Yes, I am here.
All right, right. Introduce yourself.
Well, yes, I'm Drillbit777. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a bit late, but it's okay.
Yeah.
He lives in NA. It's all right.
Yeah.
We were just at topic number 3, which is what was your most favorite and least favorite Dreamcast game published on the system. So go ahead, real bit.
Oh, that's a hard one. But my favorite one would probably be Skies of Arcadia. It's honestly probably
Good
one of
game.
them. It's one of the most underrated RPGs ever made, and probably in one of the games that I wish Sega would make a sequel to. There's honestly so many wasted potential games that Sega just left to die after the Dreamcast.
Yep.
More like after the
Fantasy
Saturn.
Star. Fantasy Star. Rest in peace, Fantasy Star.
Yeah.
And the online too that we'll never get.
Oh, actually, the PC version of Blue Burst you can play online. I'll link that to you after the show.
Yeah, they announced the Switch version of Fantasy Star 2 and we still don't have it.
In Japan.
In
God
Japan.
damn it.
This is why you guys need to learn Japanese.
Yeah.
I've
Just
tried.
like
It's
me.
really freaking hard.
Yeah, I'll just learn a new language.
Yes.
Japanese.
Probably
Yeah,
the
I'm
worst
Swedish,
game.
man.
Probably the worst game on it is my least favorite game. I guess the Ring Terror's Realm.
Oh, yeah. That was like a real silly horror game.
No,
Which
I'm googling this. I want to find out what this shit is. Wait, hold on.
It's a shame because a horror game based on the Ring actually sounds like it'd be a cool idea.
It was
Yeah,
called The
and they-
Ring. What? Do it.
Just look up the Ring Dreamcast game. That should get you to it.
I didn't even know it had a game.
The cover
Ring-
looks awful.
The Ring,
Yeah.
like the movie The
This
Ring.
is this
Yeah,
was
it's based
back,
off that.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's a fixed horror game, like fixed camera.
Yeah, this was back
Mhm.
when Ringu was coming out in Japan.
This could have actually been good.
I mean,
Why-
maybe.
No, you gotta explain this one to me. Why is this one awful? This could have been good.
The bad graphics, the bad controls.
Bad.
Um,
I see.
Yeah,
Bad
the
gra-
bad voice
bad-
acting.
Yeah.
Oh come on, that was a staple on the Dreamcast. What was that?
Basically, it's basically a crappy RE clone.
It's like if someone with no budget tried to make a Resident Evil Code Veronica game.
Zombie
Oh, my.
Revenge. That's the one.
Maybe
Ooh.
I mean I think a Ring game would be cool if they made it an adventure style game.
Yeah,
Yeah, perhaps.
it was really dumb. I remember that game. I might have to check that out on an emulator again just to see how it works. My Dreamcast is in storage in another city right now, so I can't.
Hmm.
Womp womp.
Anyways, let's move on to topic number 4, right? Because I think we're all done, right?
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. So,
It's
Number 4. Is there
No,
a specific?
it's 1 p.m.
Is
No,
there a
it's
specific?
1 a.m.
God damn it!
Is
Is
there
there
a
a specific Dreamcast game that is relatively obscure that you would like to see return in this current generation of games?
Oh boy,
I'm
here
gonna-
we go.
Oh, yeah.
I
I'm gonna
believe the
open this
obvious
up.
answer is Skies of Arcadia.
No. I'm gonna open this up with saying Jet Set Radio. That needs a remastered
yeah, that's
version
one.
with shinier
you-
graphics,
You do
YOLO
realize
swag. All right.
They did actually. I think they
It's on
re-released
Steam.
it on Steam and
It's
on
Xbox
Steam.
Live. I think.
No.
Yes, they did.
No. They need a better version that looks even prettier. That's what I'm saying. Not the one on
Jet
Steam.
Set Radio Future? No? Oh, okay.
No, the original Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio Future
Oh.
was later on.
Where's Pooh?
I think a game or game series I would really like to be remastered and stuff would be the Army Men series, because that was what got me hooked onto the Army Men series. I was playing
Army
Army Men
Men's
Sarge's
fun.
Heroes on my Dreamcast.
Hell
That was
yeah.
way back when, and the concept is really nice. They have, I think, a couple of toy-based like first/third person shooters out there on Steam, but they're all in early access. And they all look and feel like crap. Just-
Yeah, think like the Army Men from the Toy Story movies, only a lot more violent.
Yeah, it's like the RTS games feature flamethrower units, and one of the unit animations for dying is melting.
I love it.
Yeah, I would like to see Zombie Revenge come back.
That was a fun game.
No,
Really
no,
bad
that one
voice
has-
acting, but fun.
Yeah. There's a pinnacle of bad voice acting, the game right there. But it was awesome.
Wait, worse than Resident Evil 1?
That too. You were almost a chill sandwich.
Weren't you in the dining room to do some research? What are you doing here? The game I would like to see come back. This is because I'm a fighting game fan, but I want to see like Capcom versus SNK 2, like on PSN or Steam or Xbox Live or whatever, with fully functional online. I mean, with fully functional online play, like it had on the original Xbox. Because that game had so many badass characters. It's stupid not to have it online because it's so fun. Like tons of characters, man, from like obscure ones from Capcom and SNK fighters. They even got one of the guys from Rival Schools in there.
Ooh, this game had Guile in it. I'm on board.
Oh yeah, it did have Guile. I think it had Charlie too, if I'm not mistaken.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't see that, but
I know it has Chun-Li and Cammy, so that's good enough for me.
Oh, and my girl Sakura, so that's also a win.
Yep, it's got various Capcom and SNK waifus, so there you go.
Oh, and the best Street Fighter character, which is obviously Dan Hibiki.
Yep, Dan Hibiki and Ken, the real best character.
No, Dan is best character.
So does everyone feel done?
Well, I haven't said like thing.
After the character debate, yeah, real. Why don't you say your thing and then
go ahead.
Well, actually, as for relatively obscure games, maybe D2. I mean, it's a very weird horror game, but it went pretty in depth with story and stuff.
Oh shit! I forgot D2 was a fucking Dreamcast exclusive. I've not played it. I have played D, like from GOG. That was a really good game.
How was D2 though?
Wait, you get D2 on GOG now?
No,
just D1 is D1.
Oh. There's D, Enemy Zero, and D2. They're all completely different, but they all share the same main character.
Right.
And Enemy Zero, you're basically avoiding aliens on the ship and trying to get from point A to point B. In D2, you crash land in some snowfield, and you're trying to get while there's monsters around.
Yeah, and I heard like the gunplay in that game was really good. Like it was way better than the first game. But I had no idea D1 was even on PC, so I might check that out.
Yeah, it's relatively short.
It just came out on GOG like about half a month ago. It's fucking great.
I remember on the PlayStation version you couldn't even save.
How much is it on GOG right now?
$6. I think.
$6-7, something along those lines.
Not bad.
I mean,
on sale, it's probably half.
I remember like it got a pretty good following because it was a full FMV game.
It really was. It's also relatively creepy as shit sometimes, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, even though its creator did pass away, I do want to see another game, maybe D3.
I do agree with you, by the way. Like, thank you for bringing that game up because I almost forgot that was a Dreamcast exclusive. Yes, we need, or at least somehow we should be able to play that, but not on the Dreamcast. Like maybe now on a PC like remaster or whatever. Because I really want to play it.
I mean, it's not often we get to play more obscure horror games.
Anyways, was that it?
Yeah.
All right, so number 5. Let's talk about VMU memory cards. This unique system allowed users to save data on their controllers, trade files on the memory card, show unique HUD displays with ammo, count and health, and play little mini games on this device. What are your thoughts of what they tried to do with the VMU system being more helpful than a traditional memory card? And you guys are going to have to answer this because I'm going to have to take a piss. So go ahead.
Well, I can't answer anything because I never had one of those.
I've had a bunch of experience with those, like in Resident Evil. They were useful in Resident Evil Code Veronica, because remember how in other Resident Evil that if you want to see your health, you had to pause the game and look at your like inventory. On the Dreamcast version of Code Veronica, it actually showed like the fine, the caution, the danger, and the little
that's pretty neat.
EKG meter on
That's
the
not bad.
screen. Yeah, same thing with other survival horror games that worked like Resident Evil, like Carrier. I don't know if you guys remember that game. And I don't know if you ever seen you guys like on the VMU, they got little buttons and stuff, almost like a little tiny Game Boy. Almost, and it almost looks like one of those little virtual pet style things. And some games you can download little mini games and play them on it. Like in Sonic Adventure, you can take care of your little Chow like a virtual pet. In fact, I think I got in trouble in high school for having that on me one time. It was really awkward. And there was this other game for the Dreamcast called Time Stalkers. It's a JRPG. This game took advantage of the VMU in the most, because in that game you could spend your gold to download little mini games, and it had tons of them for the VMU that you can like. There was one that was like a randomly generated dungeon crawler where you can move along and maybe fight an occasional monster. When you get to the end and put the VMU back in your game, you can unlock new items and stuff for your characters. It had that game, Time Stalkers, is probably the game that takes the most advantage of that, simply because of the plethora of the VMU mini games. In fact,
That's actually pretty cool.
I mean,
in fact, Street Fighter Alpha 3 had something like. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead, finish.
Street Fighter Alpha 3 you remember Alpha was gonna have for the little thing for the Pocket Station where you can kind of like take your character on a world tour and leveling them up. But on the Dreamcast version, you can do that on the VMU, which I thought was kind of cool.
Huh.
In fact, in my opinion, Alpha 3 on the Dreamcast is probably the best port of Street Fighter Alpha 3 outside of the Alpha collection on the PS2 and an arcade ROM, obviously. VMUs were so cool.
I never had one of those. So
it seems a bit gimmicky, but also seems like I'm surprised it's not like being done again.
The
like,
Wii
it's
had a
not a
similar thing where you could transfer save files via your controller.
Yeah, which is
Right.
actually really convenient, by the way.
Yeah, the Wii U reminded me a lot of the cast with how it's got a screen on the controller and on that, and you can play the games on there, and when you're playing a game on the TV, it can act as a little HUD or something.
Yeah, but that was also a behemoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could beat somebody to death with one of those things.
Oh yeah, you could probably like,
Yeah.
slap some. You could slap someone with a Wii U controller, and he would like fly across like
the
in a
room.
Yeah.
Or get a nice big crack in his skull.
All right, now it's starting to sound creepy, so we're gonna move on.
But
That's
yeah,
if everyone's done.
well,
Yeah.
actually, I had something to say.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go
But
ahead, man.
yeah, probably the best way of the VMU was with RE2, because it would show your health, and then it would show your health and your ammo count, which was neat because at least you didn't have to pause a lot. And I remember in caution mode, they actually when in caution mode there was the yellow and orange ones. When it was on yellow, it would show caution, and then when it was on orange, it would be caution, but it would be flashing. So at least because on caution mode, whenever you're on yellow or orange, you wouldn't know if you're on orange, because Leon doesn't start limping until he's on red. So I thought that was pretty neat. At least so you wouldn't have to pause all the time. And Skies of Arcadia had this mini game where you would take the VMU with you, and then you complete a mini game which would give you some extra stuff within the game.
Right, it was cool when Code Veronica did that. Resident Evil Code Veronica had that, the little VMU screen showing your health.
Yeah, they had them in all the the RE games on Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the only problem is having to put in more batteries. You
Well,
can
the
actually,
batteries only mattered if you were like taking the VMU out and playing the game. Like if the battery is dead, you could still use the screen when it's plugged into the controller.
well, yeah. Though I would use it, that would always take it out a lot just to do the Skies of Arcadia minigame.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Anything else?
My experience is
No.
lacking, so there you go.
Same.
I got nothing on this one.
Yeah, I got nothing on
else to add
anything.
either.
I've been
I'm
silent the entire time. I have
Poor
nothing to say.
Poor
It's a
results.
first.
All right, let's move on to number 6, which is basically the same question that Ren wanted us to answer on number 4. I think he's recycling here. But is there any Dreamcast games to your recollection that you think deserves an HD remaster? I mean, me and Drill already went through D2. So
yeah. Just put
yeah.
the D collection.
Shenmue 1 and 2.
Put the D collection.
Shenmue 1 and 2.
The D
Yes, and that was
collection.
deliberate.
The
Yo,
game that interested me on the Dreamcast, they've already got an HD remaster, so I'm happy.
I mean, Skies of Arcadia. There was a port on the GameCube, but it's never been released in HD.
Good luck trying to find a copy of it, though. It's pretty
Yeah.
expensive.
I did end up just giving in and copying out a GameCube copy. Of course, it did cost me $70.
Jesus.
fuck.
Jeez, you might as well just burn a Dreamcast copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
It
one of those
is.
people that'd rather just have an authentic one.
Fair enough.
Fair
And
enough.
plus, I got the GameCube version because the problem with the Dreamcast version is that when you're in the overworld, you get in random encounters happen all the time, which get annoying.
Right.
It's like
Alright.
it's like if you played Final Fantasy X and every 2 seconds you go into a random battle.
No, just no.
Yep.
That's the thing. I'm one of the few people who plays JRPGs that doesn't care about.
I mean, I don't mind random battles as long as they're done right. But
Right.
that's for another topic.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin, you're muted.
Uh-oh.
I thought you guys were like gonna talk about fucking HD remasters and shit.
Well, we kind of already did with the other question. I don't really
Yeah.
have anything to
But
add.
yeah,
Nobody's saying Shenmue.
That one's a bit different. I
No
said
one's saying
Shenmue.
We said Shenmue.
Okay.
I heard
okay,
someone say Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was me.
okay, if we're just throwing out games, I guess all the Capcom fighters, like Project Justice and
Techromancer, Power Stone. Those were awesome. Power
Oh my
Stone
god,
was fun
yes,
to play
Power
with
Stone,
friends.
yes.
yeah,
Power
Power Stone
Stone,
1,
man.
Power Stone 1 and 2 did get ports on
Crazy
PS3.
Taxi. We need a remake where you drive over Renegade.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the Crazy Taxi remake is basically just you steal a taxi in GTA.
What's funny is that I played the Simpsons ripoff first before I ever played Crazy Taxi.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
No, Road Rage. I think that was Road Rage.
Or no, Road Rage. Yeah, Road Rage.
Because
There-
that's when you're only in the car.
Hit
There
the Run
is
was
a,
actually good though, but I mean that's
There
Yeah.
is a very good free port of the original Crazy Taxi you can download on your phones right now. It's
Oh really?
even got the it's even got the Offspring music. But it's free, so there's just ads every now and then. But you could pay like $2 to make the ads go away, I think. But it's worth it. It's actually, they even got the Offspring music back in there.
Oh shit! I forgot about. There was one other game I forgot about. I should have said it for number 4, but there was
Go ahead.
Illbleed.
Go ahead.
I
That's
remember
a real-
Illbleed.
It came out like at the end of the Dreamcast life cycle. It's not really what I would. It is kind of a horror game, but there's like tons of blood and gore in it, but it's to an exaggerated amount.
Yeah, it's one of those horror comedy games almost.
Yeah.
Holy shit! The cover looks fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Is that a freaking baby head?
Wait, what is this called?
What's the game called?
Illbleed.
I forgot.
The cover of this thing. Jesus Christ!
One of the
I just typed the name in the chat in case you knew.
That looks fucking awful.
Oh, okay.
It's one of
What
those
the
games you're not
fuckity
supposed.
fuck is that shit?
Yeah, you're not supposed to take it seriously. It's one of those ones if you're like a B horror B movie horror fan buff or
I don't
whatever.
know why, but
But
that
yeah, there
reminds
were a
me
lot of
of,
cool things. But yeah, there
Oh,
was.
this game. I remember reading about this. Yeah, it's
But
a
yeah,
horror comedy.
Yeah, you had a bunch of different stages in the game. Like the first, like you had a stage where you went through a hotel, an old movie theater. Also, you went through a department store, and even a factory.
Jeez. I want to play
But
this game some more.
but yeah, one of the funny thing is like one of the bosses you fight in the game is like an obviously rip off of Sonic. Well, he's a homage to Sonic.
Is he undead?
He's supposed to be evil.
Oh,
It's his evil clone, Shunik.
it's Sanic.
Fast,
No,
go
Sanic is a different entity.
Gotta go slow.
Gotta
Gotta
go
go-
slow.
Zap to the extreme. Oh wait, wrong one.
But yeah,
So I assume
I must
it's done?
proceed at a high
Or-
velocity.
Anyone
But
got
yeah.
anything else?
but
Not
yeah, I'd
really,
say
no.
I'd like for that to go to at least get an HD remaster, mainly
Yeah.
because there's not really any other horror games like it.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's move on to 7. The Dreamcast was Sega's last console before completely bowing out to console market with the rise of the PlayStation 2. Under these conditions of Sega's demise on the hardware front, why do you think they were led to this point, and what could they have done to rectify the errors of Saturn and Dreamcast? Do you think Sega going to the route of DVD drives, which allow more games from third-party developers, would have saved the console? They used a special GD read-only disk drive, unlike the popular DVD-ROM that Sony and Xbox used.
That's hard to say, really, because the GameCube made it through, and they had their smaller discs.
Mini DVDs.
Yeah. So it really depends. I think the problem with the Dreamcast was that they didn't have all that many exclusives, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a big
in
part of it.
third-party development.
Yeah, and most of them were just like arcade ports anyway, weren't they?
Yeah,
I'll tell you
a lot
what
of
killed. I'll tell you what killed the Dreamcast: piracy.
Yep, I honestly remember about how that happened because there's this magazine that released like a cheat code disc or something.
Action replay.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
What
Yeah,
it
but-
did was it made this backdoor in the Dreamcast, but the thing is, it could allow you to basically play anything. And it was only in that demo disc. By the time the official Action Replay disc was released, they fixed it, but the damage was already done.
Yeah.
Yep, people were trying to get copies of that older disc, and they went on eBay for like hundreds of dollars and shit.
I
people trying
wonder,
to buy
were
'em.
DVD burners that frequent back in the 90s or in the early 2000s?
No, I don't think so.
They were
No.
still frequent enough.
But I think a DVD drive probably would have helped them because, from what I understand, that was one of the things that got Sony really ahead at the time was that DVD drive. Because until then, in Japan, DVD players were uncommon, and the PS2 was cheaper than any other DVD player.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
heard about
And that's
that,
only
yeah.
like 20% of the reason why the PS2 annihilated everything.
Yeah. So
But
think-
yeah,
so that just shows how powerful PS2 was.
I mean, PS2 was half the reason, though. The other reason was Sega themselves, since they burned a lot of people with Saturn and Sega CD and 32X.
Was Bernie Stolar still the CEO at the time of the Dreamcast release? Because if
I
he
have
was,
no
that would
idea.
really explain a lot, because that guy was a goddamn moron.
All right.
But yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, basically they jumped the gun too quick with Sega Dreamcast, and they probably should have just waited a year to give it a DVD drive. I mean, they did have a lot of good games on it. It's just that they just wanted that early advantage against PS2.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also it came out way too soon after Dreamcast. Yeah, after Saturn, I mean.
And the Saturn itself is a whole different ballpark of stupidity.
Yep.
It's a good
Yeah, oh yeah.
system, though a lot of its best games are Japan only.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the
Mhm.
truth.
All right. Let's move on, though, shall we? Right? So we're halfway through.
Go team.
Go team! Most awesome
Team
podcast
adventure.
I've done. Because I know you shit about the console, but here we go. All right. What do you think of the exclusive Sega had at the time as killer apps, e.g. Shenmue, Soul Calibur 1, Sonic Adventure, and Resident Evil Code Veronica are good examples.
Not many exclusives, but the ones they had were pretty good.
Code
Except
Veronica,
for Sonic
man.
Adventure.
Code Veronica is one of the best Resident Evil.
Probably.
In
Probably
my
Caliber
humble,
Caliber is awesome.
in my humble opinion, Resident Evil Code Veronica was one of the better Resident Evil games in the entire series. And Soul Calibur 1, that was like the best examples of showing, how to bring a full-blown high-end arcade game home into at home pretty much, kind of like what Neo was trying to do.
Honestly, Sega did have a really good launch. Probably one of the better US launches. I mean, you had Blue Stinger, House of the Dead, Hydro Thunder, also Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur,
Hydro
Power
Thunder.
Stone.
I remember that one.
I mean, usually
Remember Hydro Thunder?
Usually most launches are just shit games.
Oh, Shoot Your Rocket! I played that actually. That was good.
Rocket.
What
Yep.
the hell?
Look up Shoot Your Rocket. It's great.
It's a fun little puzzle. It's a fun little puzzle game. They made it on the GBA also, and it's a pretty good port.
Oh, those things. Yeah, I remember that.
Like everyone said, Soul Calibur 1, Resident Evil Code Veronica, and Sonic Adventure, perfect killer apps for that thing.
Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Oh, Shenmue.
I mean, the games I really like on it aren't. I mean, the games I really like aren't killer apps, or they just came out at the end of the life cycle. Basically, by then, everyone had probably either thrown out their Dreamcast or just gotten a PS2 or Xbox or GameCube.
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Cool.
Same here.
Yeah.
All right. So, number 9. Do you think we'd ever see a Dreamcast Mini in the future with the rising success of Nintendo marketing previously created consoles that are in high demand, like the NES and SNES Mini? I don't think so. I think it's more likely we just see a HD collection or something of their exclusive games. If you know what I mean?
I'd like a
Like-
Genesis one.
Yeah, like a collection or whatever. Because we've already had a Dreamcast collection, right? Those like 4 games or
Right.
whatever. I think
Yeah.
we see something similar to that, but with more games.
Yeah,
Instead. Yeah.
Though
Yeah.
it would be nice to have though. Like maybe someone could make like something with a Raspberry Pi and and what do you call it, 3D printer.
I mean,
Yeah.
plus, I'm not the biggest fan of the Dreamcast controllers.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the design or the analog stick they had for it.
Man, what's it with the hatred for that controller, man? It was so comfy to use, man. Maybe I do have big ass
Maybe.
hands or something.
Not for fighting games.
I loved it for fighting games, man. I remember jamming that thing with MVC2 and Street Fighter 3 and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I
yeah.
think, like you said, a collection would probably be a better move.
And plus, it'd probably be far more expensive compared to SNES or NES, because at least with the SNES and NES, you can store a lot more games, since the games are smaller in Dreamcast games,
Yeah.
or at least 600 to maybe 800 megabytes.
Some of them can get up to a gig. Actually, I think the discs for disc for Sonic Adventure 2 was like a whole gig and a half. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Code Veronica was 2 discs. D2 was 4 discs.
Yeah.
Damn!
Shenmue
what the
2
D
was
stands
4
for.
discs. Shenmue 1 was 4 discs too, actually.
Way back when games used to run on discs.
I don't know
No,
if
when they used to run on smaller discs.
Yep.
actually, I'm actually planning on getting a Dreamcast soon, which is ironic. I have a question that's very off topic. All right,
Okay.
was the Dreamcast region free?
No, it's region locked. But if you have the if you can just burn a disc, I think you have to burn a certain disc that can allow you to swap games and make them region free.
Yeah, get an
Yeah.
action replay disc or just
Oh,
burn.
so it's very easy to unlock.
Yeah,
sort of
very
thing.
easy. Like at the most, if you just want to unlock regions, all you need is maybe one CD.
You just
That's
have to check the model though, because
Yeah, 'cause-
some of the later models Sega blocked them out.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Shenmue 1 is expensive as shit over here. So I
Right.
figured I might just buy the Asian version. But the problem there is that I don't know if the console like is region free or whatever the fuck. So
I mean, I'd say also get Illbleed, but it's extremely expensive here in the West.
yeah. I'll just import my shit.
Plus, I kind of preferred how the European Dreamcast covers look compared to US.
Yeah, they look a lot better.
Oh yeah, is it like the light a different color? The little LED when you turn it on, isn't it, or something?
Isn't swirly blue in like other regions?
Like in
Yeah, it's blue here.
Europe. Yeah, in Europe it's blue. In America it's red. I think in Japan it's something else. I think it's green or something.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
So the Dreamcast was priced at $199 in the US and £200 in Europe. How do you feel about Sega having a very low price console against competitor costs? Sorry, I think it definitely helped.
It helped in the launch, that's for sure.
Good games on launch plus low bar entry helped a lot.
Like relatively cheap for a console. So like, wow.
Yeah.
Like wish you could get it that easily now. Like no console is priced like that. The only thing that even comes close is the Switch, but that's like $300.
And the
Still need to get
GameCube,
one of
that
those.
was
But again,
$199.
it's inflation.
The original Wii came out at $250.
Yep, the GameCube was $199 when it came out.
But the GameCube came out way later than the Dreamcast did, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out
It didn't.
2001.
Yeah, 2001. That was like
So
a
like
couple
tail
months
end of
before the
Dreamcast lifespan.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the Dreamcast was just petering out at the time.
In the end of its lifespan.
And the end of Sega's console run.
Not even Reloads knows what it is.
What did you say?
I said, and now even Relogs doesn't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. I was really confused about that music, that's all.
But yeah, I don't see the mini happening mainly because of higher costs.
Yeah.
We're not
And-
even on that question. We
and-
were on about the freaking Dreamcast being
Yeah.
priced very cheaply.
I brain farted.
So
yeah.
that's what that smell was. Okay.
But
Yeah.
the price was good, at least for the time.
I mean, nowadays a console priced at $200 would freaking make news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for a
Mm.
console, that is cheap.
Yeah, it is.
Even for a
It's kind of-
handheld now,
It's
that's
cheap,
kind of
but then again, you have to think now it's kind of like inflation too.
Well, that's for everything, though, unfortunately. And now we have freaking Microsoft and their stupid Xbone being at like $500.
Yeah, I am not buying one of those.
I'll only buy one of those if I can somehow get it dirt cheap, like less than $100. Like at a
Anyways.
clearance or something.
Anyways, 11. All right. So, what do you think of news of studios and fans still making games for the Dreamcast? I think personally it's a waste of time and put
Dead
it
console.
and in that case put that shit on PC.
I'm just like, what?
Some of them. Well, that's the thing. It's like a nice little hobby that people make. Like in their spare time, they make these cool little like it's mostly like shooter games and like side-scrolling shooter games. Like I think they made one that was a lot like Metroid. It was like a open world 2D explorer game where you're like I heard that one was I can't remember what it was called, but it was just a game that someone made in like 2011, I think.
I think it's great though that people still make games for the console. It shows that the console was actually loved by people, and that they would have loved to see it actually be successful.
If anything, I would say that like because the Dreamcast was so easy to program for, like I think it opened a lot of doors for people who wanted to get started into programming. Like they'd probably like show that off and maybe like get inspired by that to learn other programming courses and eventually get jobs in the gaming industry.
I mean, even like indie devs ported games of Dreamcast, like Vulgar the Viking.
Oh yeah, I remember there was a Dreamcast port of that game.
Someone should try porting Sonic Mania on Dreamcast.
I would love to see that. I'm pretty sure someone could make it work, assuming Sega doesn't try to put doesn't try to be douchebag. Cease and desist. In which case,
Sega doesn't do DMCA's. Are you kidding?
No, that would be
Freaking
Nintendo.
God,
Except
retarded.
when it's Phantasy Star.
Yeah,
no,
except
blame
Phantasy
Japanese
Star.
Sega for that.
Yeah,
Because those idiots don't know how to release a goddamn sequel in America, despite the fact there's a freaking trailer for PSO2 that's been out for years. I'm still salty about that.
Fuck you, Sega. Fuck you. I'm
Do
salty about
you
that
guys
too.
not? Do you guys not like money? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
They're just
Like,
in
Are you talking
conflict.
about Phantasy Star Online?
Money.
Phantasy Star Online 2 was out in Japan. It got a Western release trailer, but it never came out in the West, and that was 5
Yes.
years ago.
Patching with Arc Slayer and play their servers.
I just play PSO Blueburst on a fan server and everything's all right.
But
Oh,
as
by
I
the way,
was saying,
for the record, I actually do own PSO2 and I do play it because I understand what they say.
But what I was
Ah.
saying before, that Sega's not really one to cease and desist much because, I mean, if you want to talk about DMCA's, go to Nintendo side. Ugh.
Yeah.
But Sega was kind enough to bring freaking actual fans to program for Sonic Mania. An official Sega game should really speak miles to what they think. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we should there should be Phantasy Star fans promote coming to Sega about letting them handle a new Phantasy Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, make a Dreamcast port of it too. Because you can through dial-up, and there is a broadband adapter for the Dreamcast. You can still get it online.
I mean, there is a lot you could do with the Dreamcast. But yeah, it's at least neat. It's neat they're still making games for it, at least for enthusiasts.
That's
Well,
all
that's
I got
all.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Other than release PSO2 here in America, Sega, you idiots.
Yes. Hashtag fuck you, Sega.
Hashtag I have that installed on my computer right now.
Can't read Japanese.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
speak anime.
What's the next
I
question?
speak anime.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the
you
next
were saying,
question
Will?
now?
You were saying, Drill?
What was the next question?
Oh.
That's what I was
Number
saying.
12. What do you think of the design of the Dreamcast controller, consoles, special edition consoles, and any specific accessories being utilized for the system?
Woo!
I know of one special edition console, and that's the Hello Kitty console.
God,
That is-
Oh,
In
God.
Japan. Yep, I think that was in Japan.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks actually looked great, to be honest.
Yeah.
Are you a
It's
Hello
not a
Kitty?
shame that they used a poor quality plastic, I think it was, or the color or something, because it can still get some damage, just like the PS2. Not PS2, I mean
Probably
Super Nintendo.
the Code Veronica one was the best, mainly for the transparent red.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen that one. You got to send me a picture of that one.
It's
in the chat.
Yeah, the problem is that it's extremely rare.
That looks pretty nice.
I like it a lot.
Oh, you know something I just remember about the Dreamcast though?
Damn.
Anyone remember the loud noises it would make when it tried to load from the disc?
Yeah, like it would beep, it would go like a robot.
It did help a lot. I mean, it was helpful for Skies of Arcadia because at least it would tell you when random battles were happening.
But I couldn't do it because of the damn grinding. Like I muted the TV. Like turn it off.
Are you playing Dreamcast again?
Yeah, Mom. You control me.
You better come down here right now, young man.
Yeah, my mom had a Bostonian accent too and everything.
That reminds me of when I turned on the PS2 and like you just hear like and it's just like and then my father comes into like living room at like 6 a.m. Are you playing PlayStation again, boy? Yes.
Boy.
Yeah, Dad.
That looks really good.
That one right there, the Sakura, I forgot what that.
Sakura Wars.
Yeah, Sakura Wars. I couldn't.
This is so anime.
Oh man, if Moogle could see this one.
But yeah, they also made another one, the Stars Edition.
That one, I wish I had the Stars one with the Stars logo on the lid. That looks so cool.
Stars.
It's Dad.
Oh no.
But yeah, the special
Triggering me
edition,
for Resident Evil.
the special editions are really cool. I'm just not a fan of the controller.
I don't remember
Mainly-
having any problems with the controller, like, back then. But that was just me.
I just don't like the D-pad or the analog.
I could probably beat someone to death with that thing.
I got big hands.
Damn.
You could
Wait.
beat somebody to death with the Duke controller.
No. Put that thing in a sock. Tie the sock on like.
How do you put that thing in a sock? It's freaking huge.
Put that thing
That's
like
what
a huge
she
sock.
said. Hey.
Put the thing in a huge sock. Tape it on a pole, and then like swing around with the pole. You can beat someone to death with that thing.
I mean,
You can use it as like a flame.
I mean,
or
it can't
whatever.
be worse than that.
Oh god,
It'd
the
be
OG
like that
Xbox
scene-
controller.
It'd be like that scene in Full Metal Jacket where the guy gets beaten in his bed with the socks that I think have rocks in them or something. Like do that.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
It really is. Holy shit.
Yeah, look at the jagged points on the bottom of that thing, man. You swing that hard enough.
I see.
You can poke an
I
eye
see
out with that.
Xbox took some inspiration from it.
Yeah.
Xbox had a lot of inspiration from the Dreamcast, if you think about it. It had a Microsoft OS. It was the first one to have built-in online. The controllers were kind of the same, similar.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, the Dreamcast was built with Microsoft OS installed.
Windows CE, I think it was called.
Yeah.
What, Windows Creative Edition?
Yeah.
Console edition.
I thought it was like
Imagine.
Combat Evolved, like Halo.
Microsoft's Combat Evolved.
Yes.
Funny thing, I think early on in Halo's lifespan, I think they were thinking, at least for a little bit, of making a Dreamcast port of it back when it was they were thinking of making it a strategy game. Which would have been
Halo.
cool.
And then like, look at present day, you've got Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2.
I remember. Wasn't there an accessory for Sega bass fishing?
The fishing rod.
Yep, the fishing
Yeah.
controller.
What did Seaman have?
The
The
microphone.
microphone.
Oh,
The weirdest fucking game ever made.
Seaman. That freaking weird ass game where you
Oh,
raise
yeah, with,
a fish with that realistic creepy face.
And
it's
it talks
Leonard,
to you.
and
It
it's
learns
Leonard
about
Nimoy.
you.
Oh, and it's narrated by Leonard Nimoy.
Yep, and the fish learns about you as it talks to you, like it remembers things about you.
I mean,
Like,
Echo
it
the.
rem- Yeah, it remembered I liked Streets of Rage, I swear to God.
I mean, that was the era where Sega had a lot of weird games, like Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, final boss
Oh.
is horrifying.
Echo Defender of the Future is a very dated game. Let me just tell you that right now.
I never beat that game. I'd like to play it sometime.
Yes. Anyways, so
Anything else?
now we're just gonna move on to another question.
Okay.
Compared to other Sega consoles exclusively, where would you rank the Dreamcast comparing it to Saturn, Genesis, Master System, Sega CD, etc.? I'd say nothing will be able to beat the glorious fucking Mega Drive, whatever the fuck.
Still the same
Unfortunately, I didn't
console.
have any other old consoles, so Dreamcast is just going to the top of the list, and my list
Above
is
the Saturn.
one console.
Above
Me
the Saturn
personally, the
32X.
Genesis is the best one.
No, let's see. Above Saturn, 32X, CD, and definitely below Genesis / Mega Drive, because Genesis / Mega Drive actually had good games, a lot of publicity.
Yep.
And it had, and Dreamcast definitely had, way more than the Saturn did, at least outside of Japan. But it still does not hold a candle to, Genesis Mega Drive. And Master System, I have no idea what to think. Did anyone really play that?
I have one, actually. I have it for Phantasy Star 1.
I mean, Master System was a thing, but honestly, it was just kind of there.
It was popular in Brazil and in the UK, though.
That's because the UK loves Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
That's not even an exaggeration. Over in the UK, Sonic is the more popular one.
But yeah,
Yep.
I'd say Dreamcast is under Genesis, mainly because mainly because I don't really like Saturn that much. There are some good games for it, but it kind of, but yeah, it's but it's in that awkward era between Genesis and Dreamcast.
Yeah, I'd say it's up there for me, like up there with the Genesis and maybe below them the Game Gear, simply because a lot of the games on the Game Gear I thought were fun to play. I never really played a Saturn, and the only Master System game I ever really liked, besides Alex Kidd, was Phantasy Star 1, and maybe that Golden Axe game that they had on there that was like an RPG.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Or a good day to the US peoples.
For fuck's sake.
But yeah,
Americans.
I don't think I've ever known anyone who's Sega CD or a 32X.
I knew someone who had a Sega CD. I'd go to his house all the time to play Sonic CD.
Think they were like
Actually, a good game.
there was
Here's
like
the thing with
three-
the CD, right? It was actually like it had good games for it, but it was just the concept of the entire thing was just like, nah, go fuck yourself.
It had very few good games. The others are just really weird, or just not
Yeah, but
really good.
There was
Shit,
some games there that was actually pretty fucking good.
they're
Well,
either,
yeah, I'm not denying that.
they're
Mhm.
either just shit FMV games.
Sega
working.
CD had Lunar, the Lunar series.
Yeah.
Lunar 1 and 2.
Lunar.
Those
Lunar
are
1 and
underrated.
2.
Those are underrated classics of the ages.
Hell yeah.
There's
Like, holy crap.
There's also Snatcher.
Snatcher, hell yeah.
Seriously, if y'all want a good underrated JRPG, Lunar 1 and 2.
Yes.
Either on Sega CD or their PS1 remakes.
Yep.
Fucking play them. They're great.
And PSP as well.
That's only for the first game, though, which is weird. I don't know why Lunar, Silver Star Story kept getting all the goddamn remakes. Lunar 2 deserves something. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a game that needs to freaking get revived as Lunar, if only.
Alright, final question. All right.
Oh, spit!
Dun dun dun.
I don't know what the fuck that was, so we're just gonna move on. What's the most fun memory you had as a Dreamcast owner, whether it be the games or revolutionary ways the console appeased you at the time?
The games.
Talking
the
about
games.
it right here.
The games, honestly. And not only that, but also that surprisingly satisfying startup screen.
Yeah, I love the little. I have that as my text alert on my phone.
Like, Dreamcast and PS1 will always, to me, have the best startup screens ever.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah.
I I think what really revolutionized me for the console was not only the game library, but its internet capability. Because I honestly remember, because back then I had a really shitty computer. It was like 2001. I still had a Windows 95 75 megahertz computer that I could just do schoolwork on. I was able to browse the web on that thing for a while, and it was pretty good. I had a keyboard and everything.
Yep.
My fondest memory about the Dreamcast is remembering it existed today.
Yeah, it's like I said, talking about it right here.
2017, still thinking.
I would probably be playing Virtual Cop with my buddies back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Also, Relogs is just silent. He's our recorder.
I'm not, but I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
I
He didn't even know what it was.
Nope.
I mean, the most fond memories I have are probably playing Soul Calibur. Also, Skies of Arcadia and Resident Evil and Ill Bleed.
Is that it?
Should be.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
allow
have,
everyone.
really have anything to add.
I'm gonna allow everyone to plug themselves. DJ, you're up.
What? Oh. Yeah, come and find me on YouTube. My name is DJ Plays, also known as DJ Plays Trash Crew, because I play a lot of Siege now and I have a crew called Trash. Find me on YouTube, but that's really all me. The only place you'll find me is on YouTube. I might be moving into Twitch sometime soon once I get my streaming software working and a schedule. But until then, it's just YouTube and Rainbow Six Siege for me.
Everyone's moving to Twitch.
Everyone is. Drill, where can we find you?
Probably just on Twitter at Drillbit777.
All right, perfect. Grodus, plug your shit.
You can find me on YouTube under the name Alpgrodus, closing in on the 1K. And you can also find me on Twitter with the same handle and on Twitch by the name Grodus.
All right, perfect. Inferno.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at InfernoDragon3D and on YouTube and Twitch as InfernoDragon343. Also follow me on Facebook.
Facebook?
Facebook?
Facebook page. Like, do you not know what pages exist?
No.
Facebook?
Facebook.
MySpace.
Anyway, same name as YouTube and Twitch. There you go. Done. Next.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube, Italian Stallion 330. I'm closing in on 6K. And Twitter, IT Stallion 330.
Hey, nice. Vlogs!
Martin!
Where can we find you?
Alex, Morty.
Where can we find our podcast recorder for,
Probably outside your door when I'm gonna kill you.
Uh-oh.
Alright, Jojo, your turn.
My turn? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah, I'm good.
You can find me on Twitter at The Lost Jojo. I occasionally shitpost JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and try to find lost animals' homes. And I'm also on YouTube, the Mr. Bastard Gamer, and I'm also on the Skyver TF2 group on Steam, where you'll see me probably shit trolling in the Dust Bowl server in that group. See you there, maybe. I'm also I'm not even approaching 1,000 subs on YouTube, but Mr. Bastard Gamer, if you want to check me out.
All right. Meanwhile, you can find me on YouTube under PsychoRender, or you can find me on Twitter at PsychoRender. I mean, I contributed to nothing, so don't even bother looking me up. I'm good.
Alright.
Yes. Podcast over. Go home, everyone.